Okay, so hello and welcome back to Zimbabwe. Yes, we are living in Zimbabwe where our money is useless and suffers from hyperinflation. Not only that, it is not as beautiful as its Austrian six kreuzer. But in realistic terms, it's what people are suffering in Zimbabwe. So we're looking at some of Zimbabwe's banknotes, and today we have the lowest denomination, and that is the $2. So these took over in 1980 from a Rhodesian currency, which I don't have banknotes out. So Rhodesia issued coins up to 25 cents, and banknotes are $1, $2, $5, and $10. And Zimbabwe introduced their own currency, also based on the dollar. So they didn't change the specific name of the currency, and this was used up until 1997 when they introduced a coin. So this is the $2 coin. It's a brass. Then they changed it to a brass plated steel, so that replaced this banknote. But when I've made a video before on the coins, you can just go and look at it if you want. So what we have on this banknote, we have the Chimera balancing rock, or the Epworth balancing rock, whatever you want to call it. Epworth is probably definitely it's the English name of it. But the Chimera, it's probably like Tongan or whatever. Now, there is an article named Balancing Rock of Zimbabwe. Is a geomorphical feature formed by igneous rock. Here, igneous rock. What type of igneous rock is it? Is it basalt? Is it granite? Actually, it looks like, just looking at it, looks light in colour. So it could be granite or rhyolite, or maybe rhyodacite. Yeah, it doesn't have any information. Igneous rock is just rock that's formed from lava or underneath ground. If the lava doesn't erupt out but solidifies underground, granite or gabbro, something like that. Anyway, and then we also have a buffalo, water buffalo, and these always have a date. So Harare, or used to be called Salisbury, 1994, and it's I promised to pay the bearer $2 for the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. Okay, bearer on demand. So they used to use that when we had silver and gold, especially for gold. You used to be able, like in Australia, you used to be able to take £1 to the bank or wherever and get a gold sovereign for it. So that's where this comes about. And now in Australia, I get a $20 banknote. We just have legal tender throughout Australia, so obviously you can just go and spend it. And a nice blue banknote. And the interesting thing about Zimbabwe banknotes, which is pretty common around the world these days, is that they differ in size, and also different denominations have different colours. I think people from the United States are colourblind, and also they don't like those who are disadvantaged, so those who are sight impaired. They hate those type of people. Anyway, that's my little 2 cents worth. If you don't like it, I don't care. Okay, so on the back we have tigerfish, and you can tell why it's called tigerfish. Look at the teeth on it. Yeah, I wouldn't want that nibbling at my toes. And we have the Kariba Dam on the Zambezi River. So that's where that is. And I think that tigerfish is a bit angry because of the dam and up its river. And we have the Zimbabwe, the watermark. Stone carved Great Zimbabwe bird. So the Zimbabwe bird, which is at the former capital of, I think, the Zimbabwe Empire. Well, I can't remember what the empire was called. Anyway, so this one you can probably pick up for $5 to $10. Zimbabwe banknotes of this series don't seem to be cheap. They get cheaper as the inflation starts to take off. Okay, next banknote from the same series. So just remember, 1994 is the last issue of the series. You get avid dates as well. So we have 80, 83, 94 for the $2. And yeah, same for the okay, there is a not dated one. It says 1983, but that was probably just printed throughout the whole period. Okay, so, and another thing is that these banknotes, so the $2 started with A, the $5 started with B, and then you go to the other denominations, and there's C for the $10, and D for the $20. So the $20 banknote was the highest banknote issued for circulation at the time, up until 1994. But we'll have a look in a minute. Okay, so once again we've got that balancing rock, but we have one of the species of zebra. So a lot of people think that there's just one species of zebra, but I think there's about 4 or 5, and you can tell by the different stripes. So okay, so there's 3 different species of living zebra, and there is 4 extinct species. And based on the distributional map on Wikipedia, this seems to be the plain zebra. There is a mountain zebra, and the stripes look more like that, but that lives in Namibia. And once again, the watermark's the same. So the watermark is the same for all these. There's the security thread, and these are printed in Zimbabwe itself. And on the back, we have 2 women with traditional housing in the background, and we've got ploughed fields, probably for wheat. Mashing grains near a hut, so obviously they're generating flour for domestic use, because you really wouldn't do that for a market thing. So they're self-sufficient in foods. As you can see, they've got chickens in the background, and they've probably got to have a crop somewhere else. And those trees are probably fruit-bearing type of tree. Okay, so that one you can probably also pick up for about $5 to $10. Okay, 1994. So this is the first year of issue. They issued a $50. So the $50, so it has the balancing rock again. But as you can see, the design's a bit different. So this is the design of the second series, in which the $5 and the $10 were also issued. Oh, another thing. The $5 was replaced by a coin in 2001. So this is a aluminium, oh, it's a brass ring, I think, and a nickel-plated steel. You can tell it's nickel-plated steel by the metal color. Center has a rhino on it. So from 2001, they didn't issue a $5 banknote anymore. And we have every denominations that were issued. So the $100 issued in 1995. The $500 issued 2001. The 1000, 2003. And in 2003, this currency suffered a total collapse, which they actually issued bearish checks, but I don't have any. They're pretty sad, actually, the way they printed them. And those were only legal tender for like 1 year before they were withdrawn, and that suffered high devaluation in that. By 2006, the highest banknote was $100,000. That's not the worst. Okay, so this one we have probably white rhinos. We have a allegorical feature of a flower. The governor's signature. So this one's actually quite nice. Quite a nice banknote, if I don't say so myself. Okay, Chimera. So it doesn't have that much information about what's on this banknote. The watermark is the bird, but look at it. Someone stretched its head. And the thing you need to check for these ones is if the serial numbers match up. On the back, we have the ruins of Great Zimbabwe. So that's where this comes from. They found an archaeological feature. Obviously, it's got trees growing around it, so there's a wall. Here's a central building. That might be a type of mill or even a kiln. And here we have the actual statue itself. So these banknotes, yeah, I think they cost about $10 to $20. I see there's one on circulate for $9. But as I've got this banknote, I'm not interested in actually buying that. Okay, because these suffered from hyperinflation, now these are heavily printed. Well, those security features are actually quite good. And I'm not too sure, does it have UV? My lamp's somewhere. And there's a replacement prefix of AE. So this is EE. Okay, so obviously they kept up. All these banknotes should start with E. Okay, so obviously the currency in 2003 suffered total collapse. But 2016, $100,000 banknote. And then in 2006 they issued these poorly designed, very sad banknotes. They started from a 1 cent. And for this design, the highest they issued was, I need to get Numistar. They issued a $750,000 banknote. That's really weird. Yeah, but in this design, the highest they've issued was, God, it's going up $500 million in 2008. And then they had a 5 billion aggro check up to 100 billion aggro check. So they had a different design. And as you can see, great. So obviously they used the paper from the previous banknotes, had this security feature. So that's it. That's what they done. But the paper quality is a lot better on this one, so thinner. This one's pretty much just like photocopy paper, pretty much. And we have the Reserve Bank seal, so that's why it's got the rock on there. And Mr. Gono, so he was a major problem at the time. And obviously this is only legal tender for 1 year. So the $10, you can pick these up for just a few dollars each. I wouldn't buy one of these ones more than $10, which you'll probably get a whole set for a few dollars. And here we have the same scene that was on the $5 banknote. So they started to recycle all the actual images. Yay! Look at that. We're so excited. Okay, so that one also suffered a collapse. Obviously, that $100 billion banknote. And then they issued the next series. So this is a better design series. But this one only started from $1 banknote because they legalized the coins for this series. So that means these become legal tender again. So these were used in the first banknote series as well as the third. So this is the third currency that they issued. And here we have the $1 banknote. And they also issued, they re-legalized these. And they issued 2 new coins that were supposed to be on the first dollar. And that was the $10 and $20 banknote coin. So although they didn't issue a $25 coin, I said $20, $25 coin. They issued a $20 banknote. So this banknote series is better. And with this one, all of them start with A. So AB. And they have good watermark features and security threads. So obviously they thought that inflation was going to go down. So that's 2007. They issued these banknotes. And most of it's in the 1 and 5. Although they issued a $20 but not a $50 banknote. They issued a 500. They never issued they issued 1,000, but they never issued a 5,000. There's only 1,000 and 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. And the highest banknote they issued for this one is, I think, $100 trillion, which that banknote costs about, how much does that cost? It costs like $200 to $300 now. And that was in 2008. So this currency only lasted a bit over a year. Yeah, $100 trillion. Wow. Such a high value banknote for the poor people. So obviously if you save your money during this time period, you're going to lose all the value, which I would be very angry about. Okay, so it's got a good, so it's got a color shift in that grey window, although probably more like UV. This is a better security feature for the actual security thread. And also this is rose printing. Okay, so on the back of the banknote, we have Cathedral of St. Mary and All Saints in the Reserve Bank building, which is a bit more boring. So, and turn it over. Do they match up? No, I was thinking that these actually match up, but they don't. Okay, so what would you be paying for that? Yeah, you can pick these up for about $5 to $10 once again. And here we have other ones. So here's a 100 million AA. And obviously, Gono. Did someone sign that? Don't know, is that? Yeah, maybe someone's put their own signature on it. Antique? Don't know. Anyway, I need to look that up. Okay, yes, someone did sign their own signature on that. That's very interesting. I'd like to know who that is. Anyway, $1 million. And these ones once again, you can get these for probably about $10. If you buy a bulk lot, you can probably get a lot cheaper. And on the back, we have Great Zimbabwe again. And also a buffalo. So I wouldn't mess with that guy. I'll probably be running all the way up there. And the watermark is buffalo showing you its ass. Okay, so there's that banknote. Obviously, lots of people lost their money. And here we have the 5 billion. So from the $1,000, I think the quality of the banknote does decrease. So this is actually good quality, and this one's a bit poor. The paper's pretty good on that one. This one's more like printing paper as well. Once again, someone signed it again. Old Toik or Took? Don't know. But it does have the Zimbabwe bird as a security feature, and no raised ink. And this security thread is pretty much just printed on. So obviously they didn't have any money for that stuff. The country's bankrupt anyway. So $5 billion. I'm a rich person. Let me buy. And on the back we have milking cows. And we also have a tractor tilling. So that's trying to get rid of all the weeds. And just ploughing. That's how you lose a lot of water. Anyway. So these ones lost all the power, as you can see. And the last one until 2016 is the $4. So this was introduced, and I can't remember how much the revaluation is. This one might have been like $100 trillion. I just can't remember. I'll do another video on that. Okay, and once again, they start with A, have the balancing rock, and obviously the security thread is a poor print. So obviously these ones are low quality because I knew this was going to just keep going on. There's no point printing high quality banknotes if it's just going to be used for a few months because inflation will take the denomination out of circulation. In the background, we have features of agriculture. So we've got a sheep, or a New Zealander's wife, cows, obviously wheat or something like that, a pig, they're delicious, and on the back we have now I don't know how to pronounce this, it's the Hwange Thermal Power Station. So means they burn stuff, heat the water up and use the steam to produce power. So anyway, that's basically the banknotes of Zimbabwe up to date. Now if I wanted to get the whole set, I'm probably going to have to get at least 100 banknotes. So unlike Australian banknotes, in which there's definitely not 100, but they are expensive. The majority of these you can probably get for at least $5 to $10. Anyway, hope this helps you with your banknotes and coin collecting. Let me know what you think of these. If you want another video on Zimbabwe banknotes or current coins, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you very much. Have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time and take care.